Hello, this is Riley Porter with Seattle Sumo. You are listening to a commentary track for the 1964 Hatsu Basho, Day 15, Senshu Daku. The video coverage for this tournament can be found on the Japan Sumo Association's YouTube channel and accessed with a $9 monthly membership. Of course, the commentary track is free, and as usual, I will count backwards from 3, 2, 1. As I hit the N in 1, I will click play on the video coverage. You'll do the same, and we will be in sync for the day's coverage. And without further ado, I will begin the countdown and get us started. 3, 2, 1. Futabayama, Taiho, Chianofuji, Archive. Alright, some opening remarks here from the Dijicho, the director of the chairman of the Sumo Association, Tokitsukaze Oyakata, the former Futabayama, whom Taiho looks to tie for the most Yusho today, with a potential 12th championship, equaling Futabayama's all-time record since the establishment of the Yusho system. To open top division action today, we have Wakamiyama Shinyumaku, looking for a 10th win today potentially against Wakatenryu, the best looking Juryo man in this basho. Wakatenryu in low, pushing up on Wakamiyama. Wakamiyama stands his ground. Wakatenryu moves to the side, and he's back underneath. He pulls away again. Now Wakamiyama uses the opportunity to post up on him, but Wakatenryu breaks inside. Now he's under the armpits. Does he want to break for a Morozashi or stick to the Hazuoshi and try pushing out here? Wakamiyama's a little high. Little Kaikeishi attempt, but that break in footing with that minor inside foot sweep attempt leaves Wakatenryu unbalanced, and Wakamiyama uses the opportunity to move in for a Yorikiri victory. And his 10th overall in this basho. A great result for his first top division outing. Wakamiyama, he'll have more work to do here in Makunochi. Now, Futasegawa from the Asahiyama stable, visiting from Juryo, not looking to be promoted. He's already on Makekoshi, is up against Tochio Yama. He'll be joining him in the second division in the next basho. But for today, Tochio Yama jumps the gun. Let's try that again. It's a 2-2 head-to-head. These Dikishi are even so far. Now in low, inside with the right, outside with the left, and swinging is Tochio Yama. But now he's high and he's being carried out, and it's a Tsuridashi victory. A lift out from Futasegawa. He really dropped Tochio Yama right onto his seat there. In any event, Futasegawa, 7-8. He'll be going down, but not by too much. Tochio Yama will probably be ranked lower than him yet in the next basho. Fusanishiki, the Wakamatsu Oshi specialist with a Makekoshi already, is up against Kairyu Yama, who's looking to get a Kachikoshi. This is his last chance here on day 15. And in low is Fusanishiki. He looks like he's getting into gear there, but they're going to settle on the belt. Inside right, and outside left already for Kairyu Yama. He works his way to the edge, dropping his hips. Good kaburi. Just pumping in. Gets a Kachikoshi. Kairyu Yama Yorikiri on Senshu Daku to get his Kachikoshi winning record on the final day by force out. Fusanishiki has to settle for a 6-9 and dropping near to the bottom of the top division Banzuke. Kairyu Yama, finally, like his stablemate Kiyokuni, has a Kachikoshi. Wakanaruto, he is also looking for a Kachikoshi today. He is also on his last chance. He's also on 7-7. Is up against Hirokawa, who's looking for double digits potentially today. He's already on 9-5. Pretty comfortable. Hirokawa will be looking to push. And Wakanaruto leads with the shoulder. Doesn't allow Hirokawa to get forward. Stops the charge immediately and then slips to the right. Thrusting down Hirokawa. Tsukiotoshi victory for Wakanaruto. And with that, he secures his position here in the Makunochi top division. Gets his Kachikoshi. Not a bad result. Hirokawa had to settle for 9-6. Wakanami is up against Udagawa. These guys are both lightweight technical and on 7-7. Outside right, inside left for both these Dikishi quickly. They're locked up here in the middle. Yotsuzumo. Udagawa sure looks determined there. Wakanami. Is he going to try for a lift out? Udagawa tries for a lift out, but Wakanami's back on his feet. Another lift out attempt, and this one succeeds. Udagawa beats Wakanami at his own game. Tsuridashi victory, lift out for Udagawa. He gets his Kachikoshi. Wakanami, unfortunately, will have to settle for 7-8 Make Koshi. A little slide down the Banzuke, but he's comfortably ranked. Not a terrible score. Udagawa will move up a little bit. They should be a little more closely ranked in the next Basho. Now, Tsurugamine might get a bare majority losing score of 7-8 today. If he can beat Oginohana, who is looking for a Kachikoshi, he's still got a chance for it. They both like to grapple. It's a 9-4 head-to-head in Tsurugamine's favor. Tsurugamine moves in, jumps to the side, but locks back in on the inside right, outside left. Oginohana's got the inside right. No outside left yet, but that hand is searching. Can't get it. Tsurugamine flares the elbow, doesn't let the arm in, and moves in for the Yorikiri victory. Tsurugamine 7-8. Oginohana 7-8. Both Make Koshi, but just barely. They'll move down 1 or 2 ranks. Tsurugamine showed his good arm work there. You see the way he flares his elbows, doesn't let Oginohana get to the belt despite their close quarters grappling. Pretty skilled stuff. A little peek at the front row here. Toyokuni has already got a Make Koshi, but his opponent Kane no Hana has a chance for a winning record yet. Pushing as Kane no Hana moves back Toyokuni away, but Toyokuni returns with some thrusting of his own. Kane no Hana jumps to the side, moves back in for an outside left grip, and finishes Toyokuni Yoritaoshi. So, both Dikishi preferring to thrust today. Kane no Hana the better at the tachiai. Toyokuni an opportunity to fight back, but ultimately Kane no Hana potentially a little more versatile. I think he's very comfortable on the belt. Toyokuni, I expect him to thrust. Generally, Kane no Hana surprised me with the amount of thrusting he does. It wasn't what I was expecting. Wakahaguro, he's a pusher, and he's on 7-7. Myobudani, a grappler, is on 7-7. Let's see what happens here. Myobudani, good angle, good charge, outside right, inside left, and he finishes Wakahaguro Yorikiri. So, it was a 5-1 head-to-head in Myobudani's favor, so now it's a 6-1 head-to-head. He's very much got the number of the former Ozeki, who registers a Make Koshi in this outing. Myobudani, he should inch his way closer to Sanyaku. With this 8-7 he is registered in this Basho. Tama Arashi, 2-12, didn't have a good one. Aranami, 5-9. His best results so far in the top division, but not enough to keep him here. Now, inside right is Aranami, locking up the arms of Tama Arashi, who's trying for a little arm lock grip of himself. He's wrapping up Aranami's inside right. Aranami trying to break up that grip. Moves for the outside, moves for Morozashi, settles for the outside left. He's deep inside right. Can't finish off Tama Arashi, moves them back in a little more to the middle. Aranami looks like he wants to shake that grip, but I don't think it's happening. Tama Arashi looks pretty comfortable. They got that outside left. A little bit of a stalemate now. Waiting in the middle. Where to go from here? Tama Arashi, he's had the better of their previous 2 encounters. Aranami's never beaten him. Not one for a lot of raw power, but Tama Arashi's not the biggest opponent. We'll see what happens here. Well, Aranami, I think I've been critical of his offensive capability, but I will say, he is certainly a tenacious fighter, and clearly has a good strategic mind at the very least. You know, he doesn't get finished off super easily generally. He just has a really hard time finishing off his own opponents. Jumping forward here a little now, Tamarashi pulls to the right, but relatively speaking, the position hasn't changed too much. Aranami looks like he really wants to get loose, but it's just not going to happen. No, the standoff continues. Tamarashi looks like he's in a pretty comfortable position, but whatever is ailing him in this basho to result in his poor score to begin with is preventing him from finishing this match as quickly as he might have the previous encounters he had with Aranami. By the way, for anyone who's curious, Aranami, oh, Makikai grip change. Now it's inside left, outside right. The stalemate continues. A little jostling there from Aranami, who I was going to mention, if you didn't know already, is not part of Tatsunami's stable, despite the name sounding similar. He's part of the Tokitsukaze stable. So, in case you were wondering, Tama Arashi, of course, obviously part of Nishonoseki, which originated the Tama name, most famously used by Tama Nishiki and Tama Noumi. Well, a little jostling here. Aranami wiggling the hips, still trying to maybe break off the grip of Tama Arashi here. Well, this match drags on. Maybe they'll get a water break at some point. Well, at some point. The some point would be the 4-minute mark, of course, but we'll see if they get there. Now, Tama Arashi looks like he's trying to maybe deepen his grip a little bit here. Whatever the optimal position is, he should be in it by now. Well, a little bit of adjustment here on the footing. Their muscles, of course, got to fatigue, you know, if they are tense for too long. They have to be mindful about how they post up here. It's an exhausting affair either way. It looks like a little bit of a pulling attempt here by Tama Arashi, but can't quite get Aranami off his feet. Aranami moving into a Maimitsu position, a frontal belt grip here with his left, sliding his outside right a little more to the front. So it looks like Aranami plans to finish this with a Yorikiri with a frontal grip, a Maimitsu. You can remember the Maimitsu, of course, because Mai Yashira, you know, at the front, Maimitsu, the frontal grip. You see? Well, anyhow, the stalemate continues. The Gyoji here is looking to the Shinpan for a signal to pause the action for a water break, but hasn't come yet. So Hakayoi, try to get it on. Still waiting. I think we're pretty close to the Mizuyuri, the water break. It's nearly been 4 minutes now. Of course, they're active. They're not just standing there. They are jostling a bit here. Tama Arashi looks like maybe he's also settled for a Maimitsu. It looks like no, he's going a little deeper now. His inside left, shifting his head from one side to the other of Aranami's, but he can't get past him. Aranami really pushing up on the jaw there, keeping Tama Arashi angled kind of high. Aranami moves in, trying to raise up the left side, or with his left. Tama Arashi's pretty deep with that outside right. Now the stalemate continues. A little pulling away from Aranami. A little bit of a scoop attempt here from Tama Arashi. Nothing giving. They're both here still locked up. A throwing attempt here from Tama Arashi. No go. Lockup continues. And finally, we've come to the 4-minute mark of the match of Mizu Iri, and we're back on already. The lockup remains, but restored. A little more stamina. Perhaps these two will have changed their game plan. Let's see. At this point, if I just had to guess, I would guess Tama Arashi's probably got what it takes to finish this. I think he's got Adanami beat in terms of power, but himself is just not at 100% this boss show. Moves in. Looked like he wanted to go for a lift, but couldn't make it happen. Inching forward is Adanami. And now they're holding still again. Well, you wonder if it'll go to a second Mizu Iri and subsequent Tori Naoshi at this rate. Really seems there's not much way out of this lockup for these two. Just having a hard time finishing the match. Another crunch in and release. Pressure's on, pressure's off, but not a lot of movement. Both breathing pretty hard here. Pretty much in sync with their breathing too. And another break. Nothing's wrong with the Mawashi. It's just been a long time, so the Shinpan Rising, I'm guessing they're going to just quickly decide to do a Tori Naoshi. And I think that's what the Gyoji has just said. So, wasn't that quite an exhausting bout to watch? But this next one should not take nearly as long. Here, the Yobidashi, one of the attendants, is showing the banner for Tori Naoshi, a rematch. Oh. Oh, I think they called it a draw. Very unusual result. Oh, never mind. Amatsukaze Fujinishiki. Head bonking start. Fujinishiki finishes Amatsukaze. Oshidashi. Amatsukaze Makekoshi. Both of them Makekoshi, actually. Fujinishiki's already got a losing record, but it's a 7-8. Could be worse. Alright, looks like the halfway mark, and so the Shinpan should be out of here. Yes, to clarify the result of the Adanami Tama Arashi match, I believe that it was called for a draw, which I think generally favors both Dikishi. I think it'll just be, well, it's not scored the same as a win, you can imagine, but not a bad result. I think it'd basically be, it's a draw. It's a draw. So, a rare result, but there you have it. Wakachichibu is against Kitano Fuji. Wakachichibu looking for a Kachikoshi. Kitano Fuji for a 13th win. Kitano Fuji's eager. And perhaps a bit too much so for Wakachichibu, who freezes there on the Tachi-ai, so they'll try again. In with the left is Kitano Fuji and forces down Wakachichibu with an Iwate Nage with that outside right well. He got into gear immediately, Kitano Fuji. That was pretty optimal sumo for him. Hidari Yotsu, his preferred grip, Iwate Nage, a Kimarite he's used to executing. Yes, Kitano Fuji moves to his 13th win on his debut outing. You can't do much better than that. Certainly. Oh, well, Everything I said regarding draws and lack of Torinaoshi, you can go ahead and disregard. They just wanted to give these Dikishi time to recuperate. Here's a Torinaoshi for Tamarashi and Ayanami. It's Migiyotsu now, they're locked up in the middle. Well, it looks kind of familiar, doesn't it? But with a bit more energy, perhaps they'll avoid a lockup, a standoff. Excuse me. I thought I would take a water break myself. Oof, watching this match is just exhausting. Well, here they are. Another stalemate between Tamaarashi and Aranami. What is the game plan for these two? Oh. Locked up, waiting, leaning, breathing. Well, I don't know if they're trying to get a draw at this rate, but certainly I think we're looking for a decisive winner. Grip change from Aranami to move for Morozashi. Now he's on the belt. It really is a Morozashi. Well, if he's going to win this match, it's going to be from here. This is the opportunity. Tries to move forward, Tamaarashi. Good defensive posture. Aranami wants to finish this. Wants to move forward and get this done. Tamaarashi, he's the one that starts moving forward. Showing off his superior power, even in this stance. Aranami moves in, but cannot get forward. Tamaarashi, that back left foot firmly planted. Aranami. Still with a Morozashi. Moves in. Pulls away. Does Tamaarashi. They're still locked up here. Well, it would seem in the context of this basho, these two are pretty evenly matched. So, Aranami adjusts his grip a little bit here, pulls a bit more Maimitsu, a little more forward on the right. His left hand's been pulled back a little bit, but it's still relatively deep. Now he pulls it off the belt altogether. Aranami's dug in with the head. Tamaarashi looks like he wants to break that inside right that Aranami's got. Move in with the left. Couldn't get in there. Aranami. He's been moved to the edge. Tamaarashi finally does it. He drops his hips, moves towards the bales, and ends the match Yorikiri. Finally defeating Aranami. After a real marathon affair. But, you know, good effort from both, certainly. You cannot deny that they gave it their all. Ogiyama up against Iwakaze. Either is doing super well, but Ogiyama wants to avoid at least a double-digit losing record, which Iwakaze already has. Iwakaze starts low, catches Ogiyama. Ogiyama rushes forward, but can't quite get inside. Now he moves in, but his arm's been locked up. Iwakaze surges forward, but pulling away is Ogiyama. Now Ogiyama tries to move for Maimitsu. It gets broken off. Tries to move in again, but Iwakaze's being pretty careful to guard himself. Back under the armpit is Ogiyama. Locked up on the arm. Ogiyama moves around with that outside left. But he can't finish him. Iwakaze's twirled around. Iwakaze stays low. Iwakaze flips him. Using the arm, I suppose you would call that it looked to me like a totari, like an armbar. an armbar throw, if I had to guess. But pretty speedy, active sumo from these two, very much in contrast to the Tama-Arashi Aranami affair. In any event, these two Dikishi and this Basho with the same result, 5-10. Not great. Maeda was on 3-11, worse, and is up against Sawa Hikari, who could go 5-10 today, but could do better. We'll see. It's a 1-0 head-to-head in Sawa Hikari's favor. He's got that going for him. Quick is Maeda, but a little high. Sawa Hikari's underneath him, trying to work on those armpits. Maeda just keeps moving forward, lowers himself, and finally gets the optimal pushing angle, a 45-degree shove on the chest. Finishes Sawa Hikari Oshidashi. Maeda gets the 4th win. Sawa Hikari, his 10th loss. So, both these two Dikishi will be moving down the bond scale a little ways. Probably ranked relatively close next time out. Not that they're too far apart in this Basho. Dewa Nishiki, the oldest man in this division, is looking for a 7th win. Aono Sato opposite to him, a 4th. Now, Dewa Nishiki, as usual, just puts the hand up, receives the charge. Aono Sato works on the outside right, but Dewa Nishiki, a little more eager this time out, gets Morozashi and brings Aono Sato to the edge, finishing him Yorikiri. So Dewa Nishiki, that was a little more aggression than we've been used to seeing in this Basho from Dewa Umi's giant killer. Which is to say, he's learned many Kinboshi. I mean, this is an accomplished Dikishi despite his age and the wear and tear on his body. In any event, 7-8. Definitely keeps him safe. We'll keep him in the top division after the next Basho. Haguro Yama, the former Annen Yama, who has adopted the name of his coach, Tatsunami Oyakata, the former Haguro Yama, is up against Tsuni Nishiki, who's looking for a 10th win today. Relatively even start. Tsuni Nishiki's on the outside right. Haguro Yama's on the inside left. And the Shitate Nage win for Haguro Yama. Sort of a tight angle on that bout, but in any event, Tsuni Nishiki, the wins he's gotten by staying low and keeping his opponent from getting a hold of him. So Haguro Yama locked him up immediately, kept him high, and finished him in short order. Kaino Yama, Shin Kumosubi from Onogawa Stable, is up against Haguro Hana, Haguro Yama's stablemate, as you can tell from the name. Jumping around, dodging, Kaino Yama ultimately being caught as Haguro Hana. Well, Haguro Hana's got the inside left, outside right now. He moves in, lifts, and finishes Kaino Yama for only his 2nd victory in this entire 15-day contest. So Haguro Hana ends things in style, despite sort of the misadventure of it all. Kaino Yama, 4-11, should send him a good ways away from Sanyaku next time. Daigo, the Sekiwake, with his Kachikoshi already, is tasked with stopping Kiyokuni's perfect run. Kiyokuni, in great form, 14 straight wins. Can he get up Zensho Yusho? Well, caught is Kiyokuni. Daigo's got the outside right and starts to move the younger man. Kiyokuni pulls away. He's got the inside left. Not doing too bad on defense here is Kiyokuni. Kiyokuni tries to shoulder in. Daigo's pretty well got him caught where he wants him, keeping him in front. Looking for that inside left. Kiyokuni's guarding himself, but he's on the back foot now, and a little swift Soto Gake on the twist gives Daigo his 9th win and puts Kiyokuni on 14-1, the only loss he's suffered this entire Basho. And so in terms of the Yusho race, if Taiho loses, it's a playoff between Taiho and Kiyokuni. If Taiho wins, he wins a Zensho Yusho without any need for a playoff, and puts Kiyokuni very comfortably in 2nd place, which is an excellent result. And really, he's put up a near Yusho winning performance, you know? Tochi Hikari, 9-5, is up against fellow Ozeki Kitabayama on 8-6. Low is Kitabayama. That's where he likes to work from, but can't quite get on the belt. Tochi Hikari wrestling with the hands there, but has been sidestepped and attacked from the rear, Okuridashi. Rear push out, Kitabayama puts them in the same spot to end this basho. So despite Kitabayama starting off the contest much worse than Tochi Ikari, in the first week, I'd say they end up in the same place. So Kitabayama recovers, Tochi Ikari faltering a bit in the latter half of this tournament. Kitabayama, the arrows, as is customary for one of the last 3 matches. Tochi no Umi. Well, his Yusho hopes are dashed, but perhaps a victory here over Yu Takayama could seal the deal on a Yokozuna promotion yet. We shall see. Yu Takayama, well, now he's looking at a bare majority winning score potentially if he can't beat Tochi no Umi. Things didn't quite come together, but he's shown some good stuff here in the last third. In low is Tochi no Umi with that frontal right. Now he's moving up with it. It's Morozashi for Tochi no Umi. Trying to work Hazuoshi under the armpit on the right. Yu Takayama is being pushed up. Tochi no Umi moves forward. It's Morozashi's puts on the Sotogake outside leg trip. Oh, he's sticking with it, but doesn't quite work. Has to pull back. Yu Takayama trying to lock up the arm there. And a nice Shitate Nage inside belt throw. Or underarm belt throw, I should say, from Tochi no Umi. Gets him his 13th win. Technically not runner-up, but a Yusho equivalent, you could certainly say, with 13 wins. So Tochi no Umi, he couldn't beat Taiho. He couldn't stay perfect. He stumbled at the starting block, but in the end he finishes in good form and gets a little stack of Kenshoken there, a little prize money. And of course, to finish things off here, on Senshu Daku for the Musubi no Ichiban, final match of the day, we have both Yokozuna. Taiho, 14-0, undefeated, with a chance here to win the Yusho outright against Kashiwado. On 12-2, he's in very good form. Definitely has what it takes, and he has the edge in the rivalry. It's 10-9 in Kashiwado's favor, the only man, I think, with any kind of advantage over Taiho, who's looked very much indomitable for this entire basho. Hard charge from Kashiwado, but ultimately Taiho slips to the side and slaps him down Hataki Komi to end things in a somewhat muted fashion, I guess you could say, but in any event, it's a Zensho Yusho for Taiho Koki of the Nishonoseki stable. The only Nishonoseki Dikishi in this top division, but the strongest by far. That is his 12th Yusho. He ties with Futabayama's all-time record. And with that, he also earns his second Zensho Yusho, his second perfect victory. Taiho, the strongest, undoubtedly. And now, here at the end of all of it, we'll present the best Dikishi of the basho with their prizes, and the first prize, the best of all, is the Emperor's Cup, to be presented now to Taiho from left to right. Takasaga Oyakata, Tokitsukaze Oyakata, Tatsunami Oyakata, Dewanoumi Oyakata. The top Oyakata, the top elders in sumo. Taiho, he's here to collect. Well, now the two men tied for the most Emperor's Cups will exchange an Emperor's Cup. Of course, there is the difference in era that one cannot help but acknowledge at this point. Hey, there's Chiyanayama in a suit. Of course, Taiho, his calendar is very full. Futabayama didn't see quite as many matches, but there's no need to compare really at the end of the day. It's a very impressive effort. Taiho, not even 24 years old yet, but he's setting standards, records, and putting on some really great sumo. There's the champion's flag, presented to Taiho, a carryover from an older age when the East and the West competed for the flag. The east and the west sides of the Banzuke, I should clarify. Well, now we're going to present the special prizes, the Sansho. The 3 special prizes. Not all 3 are given out, but there are 3 altogether. And they're being presented here by Takasago Oyakata, the former Yokozuna Maeda Yama. First up, Outstanding Performance Prize goes to Daigo. Did very well for himself at the Sekiwake rank, upset plenty of upper rankers. Showed his stuff. And did the Yokozuna a favor here on the final day. So Daigo, the Outstanding Performance Award. The Fighting Spirit Prize goes to Shinyu Maku Kitano Fuji. Not a surprise. He really composed himself excellently, coming off of a Zensho Yusho in Juryo. He came up with a Yusho equivalent on his debut in Makunochi. 13 wins is no joke. Kitano Fuji, destined for great things. And finally, Yusho runner-up and Technique Prize recipient, Kiyokuni. Well, he really outdid himself. You know, his previous outing in Makunochi wasn't really all that remarkable. I think he got a bare majority winning record of 8-7. But this time around, he really showed an excellent ability to get low, bend his back, utilize a good Hazuoshi, under the armpit pushing attack, and look set for Sanyaku someday. Now we'll go back to the Shitakubeya for a little bit of celebration here. Little bond, little, yeah, they're going to take a picture. Taiho's going to take a picture with his cup. There's the supporters around him, his highest ranked, highest profile financial backers. Let's get that big piece of silver in hand. And yay, everybody puts their hands up. Taiho looks pretty serious. It's not his first time winning an Emperor's Cup, so not exactly the most exciting moment for him, but hey, you know, he looks pretty good out there. Plenty of flash photography. There he is. Looking good. Good work out there. What more can you say? A Yokozuna Zensho Yusho is the way it ought to be, many think. And the Yusho Parade. There's the marching band. All the brass instruments. The Yusho flag. And Taiho leading the parade. No car, you'll notice. Contemporary viewers are used to seeing the Yusho parade done with a car carrying the Yokozuna and his flag bearer, but just marching on foot's fine here. Got the big old cup of sake being poured here in part by, well, on the left you can see the former Saga no Hana, now Nishonoseki Oyakata, Taiho's Shisho, and very proud today, of course. A little more smiley here is Taiho. Okay, I think it's ready. Woof. Pardon the sneeze. Everybody's having fun. Tension's been released. The tournament's over. Now's the time to celebrate and drop the little bit of the stoicism. All good with me. The Kishi are run things at a very high pace for over 2 weeks. So now at the end, nice to see the tournament winner able to kick back with his supporters and enjoy his victory. I say kick back, but of course, as always, the Sekitori is on duty with these public occasions. And now, here comes Tochinomi for his promotion to Yokozuna. Yes, it is true. He did not win. He did not get runner-up, but his 13-2 score, paired with his previous outing, which was a 14-1 Yusho, is seen as an equivalent of 2 consecutive tournament wins, and so is grounds for promotion. Here all the Oyakata are filing in. Tochinomi, the first Yokozuna from Kasugano stable since his Shisho Tochinishiki, who retired only a few years ago in 1960. So Kasugano stable going strong. The Yokozuna and Ozeki now in the top ranks. They're holding their own with the best in sumo. Of course, it's a solemn affair, and they're at a shrine, as is customary. The Yokozuna, a sumo leader, a bearer of responsibility, both in the context of sporting and in the Shinto imagery, tradition, so closely tied to Ozumo. A certificate of Yokozuna promotions being presented to Tochinomi by Tokitsukaze Oyakata. There you can see the Tsuna is sitting there ready for Tochinomi. He'll be presented it, and then he'll have to put it on pretty shortly to perform his Dohyo Iri. There he's presented with the Tsuna. And now Tochinomi will perform his very first Yokozuna Dohyo Iri. This is customarily done at the Meiji Shrine, so I believe that is where they are now. And there he is, Tochinomi, newly promoted Yokozuna. And he performs in the Unryu style of Dohyo Iri, the same as his Shisho, Tochinishiki. Now Kasugano Oyakata. Well, congratulations to Taiho on the tournament victory, and congratulations to Tochinomi on his promotion. And thank you for joining me.